Good afternoon, everyone. This is Royce from Cowboy Community Action, and we are doing another edition of Did You Know with Cowboy Community Action. And with me today, I have the pleasure of having a really good friend of mine, and plus a co-worker, Miss Shaunda Noah from Red Oak, Oklahoma. And she is our foster grandparent program director and has been with Cowboy many, many years. And so just the purpose, like I say every time, is to just let the folks out there know a little bit about our directors, about our programs that we administer here at Cowboy Community Action, and just give a little personal touch to just letting people know more about our directors. So Shaunda, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to learn a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot of laughs. You know, Shaunda and I, we love to banter back and forth. You know, she'll say, I love you. And I say, you have to because Jesus said so. But that's kind of something that we've done for the last 20 years. But anyhow, she is a great person, a great advocate for Cowboy, a great advocate for her foster grandparents. And she does a lot in her community and in her church and within her family, and you're going to enjoy this today. So Shaunda, first off, let's just start with you telling me about yourself and about your family. You know, I know you grew up at Red Oak, but just kind of give me a little background on yourself.
Well, I born and raised in Red Oak, Oklahoma. Graduated school there. I now serve on the Board of Education there. I have two sons, both graduated from there as well. My oldest son graduated from there. My youngest son will graduate from there this year. My husband of 23 years is also a graduate of there. And my oldest son recently got married over the summer, July 4th. Married a Stigler girl. So
she's a sweetheart.
She's precious. We love her. We couldn't have picked a better daughter-in-law if we went out and picked her out ourselves. So we love her. She's perfect.
Yes.
Got a real great family. I've been blessed. I say it all the time. I have been blessed in this life more than what I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is Cowboy. With my job, with what I get to do every day for a living, not what I get paid to do or what I have to do, but what I get to do.
That's right. It's a blessing that we get to do. Carol, in my interview with him a few weeks ago, he said, you know, there's not many jobs that you can do where you get paid to, you know, we get paid for being a blessing to people. I mean, you know, and to do what we love to do. And I know that you're a people person. I know you love helping people. And I mean, community action is the job to have when you are public minded and social programs minded like we are. So I know, Shaunda, you've been here just a little bit longer than I have been. We both came to work in 2001, so we're going on 20 years.
Yep, in August it'll be 20 for me. August the 19th or 20th. I can't remember the exact day. Mm-hmm. Came to work for old Kenny Barnhart in the DD program. Kenny is still one of my favorite people in this world. I have more respect and admiration for that man than almost anybody. Kenny is one of the most intelligent people, one of the most admirable people. He's honorable. You know, one of the questions that you had posed was about my mentors, and Kenny is one of the biggest mentors I've had and has helped shape me through his leadership, through his knowledge of not just developmental disabilities programs, but of community action.
Right.
And the way he leads. he's not a boss. He is a leader.
Yes.
And to this day, I still, I
There's a
am
big
thankful.
difference. There's a big difference in being a boss and being a leader, a manager, and we're very blessed here at Kaiboy that all of our leadership, I mean, they lead by example for sure. And they promote self-leadership. They promote, this is your program, you run it. If we may give you some ideas on how to tweak it, but I mean, they let us do our jobs, and they're just there to enhance what we're doing. So you're right, and Kenny's a great advocate for Kaiboy also. And he was my first supervisor when I came to Kaiboy, so we have that in common also. So
I think Kenny, once upon a time, Kenny must be one of the trainers for new Kaiboy employees when they are fresh out of college or fresh new people, because bless his heart, he had to hold my hand for a long time and get me to believe in myself. But
yeah, if you can make it through Kenny Barnhart, you can make it through anybody. We love Kenny.
You can survive DD. You can get through any program with the agency.
Program. It's a big program, and he's on the horizon for one of these interviews too. So, okay, so prior to becoming the foster grandparent director, so you went to work for DD with Kenny, but what else within our agency have you done? I know you've had a couple other jobs prior to that. So tell us about that. Tell us that.
After I, during when I was working for the DD program, Kaiboy received a grant for the Permanent Supportive Housing Program, which is through the Women's Shelter. And so Kenny actually approached me and said that, the folks in Stigler, which this was when I did not really know anybody in Stigler at that time, asked me if they needed someone with a degree to do that job. And so I was leery about it. I was like, Kenny, I don't know that I want to leave. I really like my job. I like what I do. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. And he was like, Shaunda, they really want you to take this job. And so I did, and I came to office in Stigler. I did the permanent supportive housing job for about, I think it was about a year and a half. And then, and I did a couple of other things along with it, like some emergency services, some things like that on top of it. And then the RX for Oklahoma director came on, which is a prescription assistance program to help people get their medications. And I started doing that for Haskell County, as well as doing some data entry, things like that. I started doing that. And then the director for that program left the agency. And so I took that position over as the RX for Oklahoma director. And I stayed in that position. And while I did that, I also did VITA, which is taxes, in Haskell County. I did Medicare, which is Medicare Part D enrollments, of course, emergency services, data entry, those types of things. And then with the RX, I did that program until Kaiboy wrote the grant for the foster grandparent program, and
which we were thrilled to get back.
Yes.
I mean, we wanted that program, and I'm so glad that we got it. You talk about a blessing of a program. Yes. That one is a blessing. So
it really is.
I love it. It's one of my favorite programs because I love those foster grandparents.
They're precious.
They are precious. They really are. And, it just shows, they still have something to contribute. Even though they are seniors, they still have a lot to contribute. And we could all learn from them. And I do learn from them every time I'm around them.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So do you feel like the programs that you had worked with before kind of helped mold you, and you kind of already answered this, mold you into the director that you are today?
Absolutely. All the experience that you gain from working in various programs, working with different populations of people, and seeing different types especially working with different funding sources and getting to work with all the different folks in the agency and different capacities, it really helps to make you a better, I feel like it helps make you a better director. I think
because you're just exposed to not only clients, but we have a level of directors and folks at commerce and folks in those areas that we deal with, also auditors, our auditors, when we go through audits every year, and so you're in direct contact with them also. And so it does, and those things, everything that you go through, every question really that you answer just elevates you in your job and what you can do. And and the longevity. I mean, folks when they come to Cowboy, they don't leave. I mean, because they learn their jobs and they know their jobs, and and they're just such our folks are just so good to work for, and they support you in anything that you're doing. If you anything that you can, like I said, elevate yourself in your position, they are all for it. So
yeah, I've never been told, if I've ever requested to serve on a board or to further my certifications or anything of that nature, I have never been told no.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's actually talk about that. I know that you're a CCAP.
Yes.
What year did you get your CCAP?
Look at my certificate. I think it was 2012, I believe.
No, I got mine in 12. I think yours is 11.
Mine's 11, yeah, because I got mine
the year before I got
a
mine.
year or 2 years before. Yeah, because I'm in between you and Jan and Dorleen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did mine by myself.
Right. Couldn't get anybody to play with you, could you?
And what's funny about that too is that we almost missed the deadline to turn in that candidate data form. So it was rush, and then had to overnight it to them. And then when I had to do the executive portfolio, oh man, it was crazy.
Dates. So much information, that year of your life is just like, it is crazy. But aren't you so glad that you did that?
Oh, absolutely.
You and I both, you're just a little bit younger than I am, but we have we're dedicating our career to community action. I'm not going anywhere.
No, I'm not either.
I'm here for the long haul. And
I've said, if I won the lottery, we've talked about it. If I won the lottery, I'm like, my son said, well, Mom, would you quit work? And I'm like, no, I'd probably just maybe, cut my hours, but I'm still going to be with Cowboy. Cowboy will get a big fat donation. They'll get a whole bunch of money, but, I'm still going to be with Cowboy.
And that certification really meant a lot to me. It means a lot to me because, it was, I don't want to say blood, sweat, and tears, but it almost is,
It is.
It really is. But it just makes you such a better understanding of the community action movement.
Absolutely.
Get you there. Okay. Well, so in addition to that, I know that you have held regional positions and even national positions within foster grandparents. So tell us about those things.
Yes, we have a national organization. We just renamed it. It's the AmeriCorps Senior Professional Network. And I currently serve as secretary of that association. And it is
made up the entire nation, not just Oklahoma. We're talking about the nation.
Yes. And I am also the president of our Oklahoma Senior Corps Association. We have not renamed that as yet, but our national association Yes, I currently serve as the secretary of that association, and that is made up of project directors, all foster grandparent project directors all across the country.
And that
And
takes you to Washington, D.C. at least once,
yes,
twice, 3 times a year. Now, I
yes,
don't know about the last year,
pre-COVID, yeah,
COVID, it's changed everything. So,
yeah,
well,
pre-COVID.
congratulations. We're just proud as we can be of you for that. It's great. Okay, so you've been foster grandparent director. So what year did you become director of foster grandparent program?
Oh, I think it was 2010, I believe, 2010 when we got this. When
So
we got this,
we're 10
or
years
2012.
at least.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Obviously, she's not good with dates, folks. It's just been a while, hasn't it? I'm going to say probably 11 or 12.
It might have been 2011. I think it was actually, I think it was October of 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, because we took over Sequoia County in 2011. And I'm thinking that all came around the same time. So we're looking at 10 years this year. Hey, we need to put that down on our calendar that we're maybe celebrating 10 years of foster grandparents. So
yeah, that would actually be
that's
really
a milestone. So we'll think about that. Okay, well, tell us about the foster grandparent program. When someone asks you, okay, what is the foster grandparent program? Because I know when I go and speak and I mention foster grandparent program, they think foster children. Okay. And so, but it is not foster children. It is, it's something else. So tell us what it is.
I actually have an elevator speech.
Yes.
For in the case when I'm in a congressional office or when I'm like on the go with somebody and I've only got a few seconds to keep their attention.
Yes.
But what the foster grandparent program is, it is a program designed for people 55 and over who meet income guidelines so that they can go into schools or Head Starts and work with children who have special or exceptional needs. And primarily they work with them on reading, literacy, school readiness, anything that the teacher deems as those particular students needing assistance with. Right. It can be anything that the teacher deems as necessary. So it's not just, black and white. It can be any number of spelling, math, anything. So easy peasy, it's not a big deal. And the great thing about the foster grandparent program is that not only are we providing a service as Cowboy Foster Grandparent Program, but it's like the volunteers, it's providing a means to provide more service. Right. So there's no loser in that. It's completely win-win. The schools get that help, volunteers get that help, and it's a win-win for everybody involved.
The students get that one-on-one from a senior volunteer who, just loves children probably, and is wanting, they're just like a grandchild, it's like sitting down with their grandchild. But on the flip side of that foster grandparent is also getting so much from getting up in the morning and getting dressed and going to the school and and volunteering their time that day. It gives them, for lack of a better word, a purpose. I'm not washed up. I still have something to contribute to society. And I think that's the beauty of foster grandparent program. I do. I mean, absolutely. I'm not so sure that, that's not more important. It is. And it just helps just everything health-wise, their attitudes and everything. It's a fantastic program. One of my favorites that we have. It really is. So glad we have it.
One of the things that me personally, You know, a lot of focus is on, you know, evidence-based. Everything is evidence-based. You know, you have to prove that your project is being successful or that it's working. And so we have to provide all of this data to show that our volunteers are making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And they're forgetting the reason this program was started to begin with. You know, it was started in the 60s under President Johnson's War on Poverty, just the same as Community Action was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was designed to give seniors, you know, basically like an employment, so to speak, and to give them something to do, to give them that means to provide some extra support for themselves, to give them some extra income.
Mm-hmm.
And you're exactly right. People forget the benefit that it provides that volunteer. And we see that now that we are in a pandemic for almost a year, that our volunteers are not able to go to school. They're not able to really get out and go. They're not able to really go to church. They're not able to really go anywhere at all. They're lonesome. They're sad. There's a lot of depression. Things like that. It really takes its toll. And when you call these volunteers just to check in, see how they're doing, make sure they're safe and healthy, the phone calls last a lot longer.
Yes.
Just because their life has been so upended by this pandemic and them being unable to go back to school. And every one of them are just, they're dying to go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's, you know, and that's where I try to focus when I do my visits on Capitol Hill or when I talk to my congressional leaders. I try to focus on that aspect of it. Yes, it helps these children and it gives some reprieve to the teachers, but look what it's doing for those volunteers. It's keeping them healthy, it's keeping them out of nursing homes, it's keeping them from going to the doctor's office every week. Look what it's doing to them.
I would say that that is your biggest challenge right now is, you know, keeping them motivated. The program's not going anywhere, folks. I know you're anxious to get back to school. We're not going anywhere. We just have to make it safe for you to go back to school. And I know that you have a great assistant, Yukari Garcia, that is just right alongside of you doing legwork for you. She's great. And
best.
Didn't she develop a pen pal program within foster grandparents to, you know?
She did. She for the foster grandparents that are just ours within the Cowboy Foster Grandparent Program, she just mailed some envelopes and stamps to each other so they could write each other, just to give them something to do to pass the time. And it was wildly successful.
Isn't that wonderful?
They enjoyed it. Yeah.
That is great. And, you know, though that demographic, they go back to writing letters, you know, to each other because, you know, you have so many volunteers that have volunteered for 10, 15, 25, 30 years. They have volunteered in these schools, and during their recognition banquets or their monthly meetings, you know, they develop relationships with each other. And don't you know they're missing, you know, seeing each other? I just think about little Margaret Floyd, who's been your volunteer for years and years. I mean, when you walk in the door and you look over there and you see her little smiling face looking back at you, I mean, she lights up the room. It does something to your heart. And, you know, I know that they are missing each other. I really do. And it just grieves my heart that we're even having to go through all of this stuff.
Well, I haven't seen them since July.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel I haven't seen any of them since July, not a one.
Sad. It's so sad. Well, okay. So we've talked about challenges. What do you think's the most exciting part of your job, Shaunda? What's the most exciting thing you did?
The most exciting part is when I get to deliver good news, like when I got to deliver the news about the stipend increase.
Yes.
Those things are the most exciting. When I get to tell them good things, when I get to tell them, or when I get to give them something, like when we get to give them their recognition items, or when we're at recognition events and I get to give them, whatever gift we're giving them. Anytime I get to deliver good news to our volunteers, that's what's the most exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've kind of gone over this already, about what about the program is most important to you, and it is the contact and the purpose of the program. I mean, your volunteers, you Kari, your volunteers, you are fulfilling the contract, I guess, for lack of a better word. You're following what we wrote the grant for.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we want to do, and you guys are fulfilling that to a T. I mean, you're going, in my opinion, of course, I'm always think that we're the best, we are. You go over and above what is expected.
I hope so.
That's
We try to.
That's what sets us apart. I mean, when we set out to do something at Cowboy, we want to do it at a standard, a gold standard. We want the gold standard or platinum. We want it to be done right, and we want to go above and beyond. And you guys you do it. You do it. Okay.
Well, Royce, you and I have had this conversation several times over the years, just about how important it is to help people, and not just because it's the right thing to do, but that it's the Christian thing to do, but just how important it is for, our agency, and how much you and I both believe in our agency and what our agency stands for. And how can we be good stewards of the legacy of all of those who have been with this agency before and those who are to come? And how can we lead all these new folks that are coming in, people like you, Kari, that have a future here, that already have that heart, that servant's heart? And how can we lead those people and show them the example of what good stewardship is if we don't do it ourselves?
Right.
And, you and I have had that conversation over the years a lot about how much we love Cowboy, and we want to see it be how we want that platinum standard to continue. And if we don't strive for that ourselves, we can't expect others to do that.
Yeah, I've said several times, I'd fight a bear over Cowboy. I really would. I really would. Well, what can be done, for folks out there, that may not even be involved with foster grandparent program, or maybe the children of your volunteers or grandchildren or great grandchildren, or anybody out there an advocate of the program? What can be done on the federal, state, local level to ensure that we get to continue offering this great program?
As always, just contact your local officials, contact your elected officials. Personally, I cannot advocate when it comes to money, being since I do receive government funds, but teachers and superintendents and all of those people in school, you can contact your Senate and your Congress people and let them know, hey, we have the foster grandparent program in our school. We love it. We want it to continue. So anytime that there is a bill that comes through the floor, either the House floor or the Senate floor, we want your yes vote to continue that bill.
Right.
And, we, at this time, we don't receive state funding. We lost our state funding several years ago for our programs. I don't suspect that we would get that back, but there has been talk that we might get some funding back. It would be some match funding. Advocacy at that level, I don't know who would be the person to do that, but
But basically, your legislators, your
Your legislators,
your
yeah,
state
those phone calls.
senator, your
Yeah, like Mark Wayne
USD.
Mullen. Yeah, like Mark Wayne Mullen's office, his offices. Honestly, Mark Wayne has been a supporter of our programs. He's always met with me in person when I've been to DC. Senator Langford has come to visit one of our schools.
Yes.
Senator Inhofe, his staff has always been very, very polite, very kind, and listening to us. So, you know, anytime there's anything, always just contact them and say, hey, you know, we love the foster grandparent program.
Or if you, or if there's a school in our service area, you know, that doesn't have foster grandparents, you know,
Absolutely.
if you're interested in that, get a hold of Shaunda, get a hold of you, Kari, visit our website. We have all the numbers. We have information about this program, you know, get in contact. I can't tell you how much benefit it would be to your students, you know, to have foster grandparent program. I had foster grandparents at Whitefield School when I was, you know, in first, second grade. I remember Susie Smith. She was a foster grandparent. You know, Kate Carricker was a foster grandparent. Tots Weathers. I mean, I remember these people, and literally we call them our grannies.
Yeah,
and
they still are.
Back then, they could just hug your neck and kiss your cheeks and, you know, all that stuff. They probably can't do that much nowadays, you know, on the record. But I mean, they were like grandparents to so many kids that didn't have grandparents. I mean, we loved them and they loved us. They loved us back. So we've talked about a potential volunteer. If you're a potential volunteer at 55 and older, it is income based. But if you're interested in volunteering at a school, get a hold of Shaunda, you, Kari, you know, same process. Get a hold of someone and give back to your community. I mean, this is a great volunteer service that we have to offer. Well, Shaunda, do you have any closing thoughts? It's been great interview so far. Anything you want to say that we hadn't talked about? I mean, there's been a lot of things said. I can't think of anything that we could add, but there may be, you know, how we are.
There's always a lot said with me and you, Royce.
That's true.
There's never a dull moment when it comes to me and you.
Well,
but,
all right.
I appreciate you spotlighting foster grandparents like this. We're always recruiting. So if there's anybody 55 and over within our 14 county service area, you know, go online, look at the Cowboy Facebook, Cowboy website. It'll be there. All of our information is there. And, you know, feel free to holler at you, Kari, or myself.
Your application's online, you know, and all of that business, and it'll tell you all about the program.
Yeah, Royce does all that. Royce is he's our main guy that takes care of all that.
Sure I am. Yeah, tell me more. No, it's a privilege. It's an honor to do anything that I can do for the foster grandparent program, any of our programs that we have at Cowboy. I believe in every single one of them.
I do too.
Believe in them. All right. Well, we're going to end today, as usual, with a few questions. I always say I'm not going to reveal any deep, dark secrets or anything like that, but just something fun that kind of lets people know a little bit more about you. And so we've got a few questions here that I promise I haven't come up with some doozies, Shaunda, because I figure you figured that I was up all night last night, you know, trying to sabotage you. But okay, so the first question is, what is the last album that you bought?
Oh, I haven't bought an album because I do it all on iTunes. But actually, no, I bought an album on iTunes, and it was Justin Townes Earl, Steve Earle's son. I bought an album from iTunes of him. It's got some good music on it.
All right. I know you're in your vehicle a lot, so you listen to a lot of music.
A lot of music.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl, all the way. Mornings.
I never want to go to bed, and I never want to get up.
Yes.
Same way.
Same.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
There's a lot. I hate to hear people chew ice. Crunching ice. That's probably or grammatical errors from people that I know are smarter than that. Pay attention.
You better stay off Facebook.
I know.
Or as my mother refers to it, face devil.
Well, she's not wrong. She's not wrong about that.
Oh, I know. And she's got a Facebook page now. But she's already said, I'm not going to post to it. So she just wants it so she can look and be nosy. I mean,
well, I'll have to go friend Bobby. I'll be sure and go friend Miss Bobby on there.
Yeah. And my mother was a foster grandparent for 10
Yes.
years. And she loved Shaunda. She loved it. And it was a great. And I will tell you that I think one of the mistakes that she made was not coming back to foster grandparent program after my dad passed away. And she will tell you that was a mistake. She should have done it. So we'll go on now. All right. What's your favorite summer activity?
Favorite summer activity? I think it would be like sitting outside in late evening, just having a drink, cold drink, and just enjoying the summer evenings.
Yeah. Yeah. And your kids used to play ball all summer.
Yes.
So you were on the ball field all summer.
This will be my first summer without having to play summer baseball.
Oh, wow.
I'll actually have the summer free.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words. 3 only, Shaunda.
Describe myself in 3 words. I would say loyal, caring, and compassionate.
Yeah, I would agree with all of those. I would have probably thrown in crazy, but that's just
well, that just goes without saying.
Okay, what is the one thing you own you wish you didn't?
A thing I own I wish I didn't.
Now, surely Derek has got some kind of silly.
A lot of things that Derek owns I probably shouldn't say on a recorded bit. No,
You know that if it belongs to him, it belongs to you, because what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
That's true.
That's
true. That's true.
Some old crazy something he's got, I'm sure.
So many things. But
that's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
That's the one I stayed up all night trying to come up with. So wanted to stump you on. So some old fishing equipment or something.
No, Royce, you just don't understand the junk that man has. It's so much. He has so much. You just can't. You couldn't imagine it. He has a lot of stuff.
So we'll just say there's a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of stuff that, yeah. Because I've actually been spring cleaning, so I've been going through a bunch and getting rid of a bunch of junk.
What celebrity annoys you the most?
Just one? What celebrity annoys me the most? Probably
I had it in my mind someone that you would say.
Celebrity annoys me the most. I guess we'll just go with Richard Simmons.
That is not who I thought. I said
I feel like I know.
Kardashian.
Oh, yes. Every one of them wear me.
Every one of them.
Every one of the
Kardashian.
They all wear me smooth. All of them.
I know. Okay, who is your celebrity crush?
Matthew McConaughey.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You would take him over Derek?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
No.
Money and all. Money and all. Okay, what TV sitcom family would you be a member of?
Roseanne. No, I'm kidding.
I knew it. I knew it. I thought she's going to say the Connors. I know she'll say the Connors. I knew it. I knew it. It has to be. Me too, though. Gosh. And then I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe it was the Goldbergs because I am a child of the 80s too. But no, Roseanne for sure. Oh gosh, that's good. I knew you would say that. Where would you visit if you had a chance?
Oh, that's easy. Venice, Italy. That's where I've always wanted to go. I still want to go there.
You're not doing anything this summer. Just get over there.
Oh, well, I've already got a plan. I've already got a trip planned for Jamaica. We've got a big trip going. Yeah. So that'll be, and I've got to talk my husband into it. He has no desire to travel. He has no desire to travel outside the country.
That was my dad. Yeah. He didn't care for us to travel, but he sure didn't want to go anywhere.
And, and I've tried telling him, I'm like, our kids are grown. We're still young. We can travel. We can go do things and see things. I've
been to Jamaica a couple of times. It's beautiful.
I've never been out of the country.
Yeah. Wow. So, I don't know that I would choose Jamaica as my first place, but anyhow.
Well, we have a boys trip, a boy mom trip with some of the senior boys, and us moms, we're going to Mexico, Cancun. And then it's kind of a family trip, and the travel agent gave us a bunch of different ideas, different places. And the Jamaica trip, she really recommended, I guess, the place in Jamaica and the resort and everything. It was a really good price.
Good. Well, y'all just go do it. Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Kinda. Honestly, I kind of do. I really, spirits, I don't know. It's kind of touchy.
It can get quinky dinky.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, I used to say no, but I don't know.
All right, Shaunda. One more. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Who inspires you?
Well, other than, just the good Lord above. But if I had to choose a person here on earth, it would be my children, both my boys. Chase inspires me to be a better person each and every day and to live more like Christ.
Yes.
And Chancey, my youngest son, he inspires me to, to live more fully and to be, be a little bit more fun. And then, of course, my husband also inspires me to just be the person that I am and to have confidence in myself.
Well, I think that's great. And it's true. I mean, your kids, you've raised them. So if they're inspiring you, then you've inspired them in return.
I hope so.
So you've got great kids. I'll tell you that Chase is a great speaker. He's a lot like you in that, if you've got 5 people or 500, you're just as comfortable either way. So, and that's a gift from the Lord, I'll tell you for sure. All right, Shaunda, I've enjoyed it today. And I know that everybody out there is going to enjoy this. And when it comes out on Facebook, be sure and share it with all your friends and family so they can listen to our banter today. But it's been fun. And that's what I want these to be. I want them to be fun, because at Kai Boy, we have fun. We have a good time doing what we do. Now, we can get very, very serious too.
Yes.
Along the way, we have fun doing what we do, and that is helping people and changing lives.
Amen.
I always go back to that.
I agree.
So, all right, my dear, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you down the road.
All right. Thank you, Royce, so much.
Bye-bye.